I thought what I might do this afternoon is just talk very briefly about eBay and a little bit about how we think about and approach sustainability. And I'll say right up front, we're very high on the learning curve here. That is, we're just getting started. When I became CEO about 18 months ago, I wanted to make this a core part of who we are because it is so aligned with our core values and principles. And we really approach it in three simple ways. One is our internal practices, and in some ways this is the easiest part. We're carbon neutral, so that's pretty easy to do. That's money, right? I just allocate money and say we will be carbon neutral. We've now set an emissions reduction goal, footprint reduction goal, 15% reduction by 2012 versus last year. And by the way, we're a technology company that's growing at 20% a year, so we think we'll be possibly twice as big at that period of time and have a level that was equivalent to 2008. Our data centers, our buildings, our latest building in San Jose, as Kara mentioned, is Gold LEED certified. It has 16,000 solar panels on it and produces almost 20% of our energy in that campus, which houses 2,000 people. The second way we do it is trying to leverage our business models as good global citizens. And examples of this would be eBay was the first company to put IPO shares in a foundation. And as a result, our foundation now has $40 to $50 million and gives grants to small communities and social entrepreneurs. Microplace was referenced earlier by the Calvert people, where we use PayPal's technology platform to do microloans to entrepreneurs in developing countries so they can begin to earn a living. So these are just some of the ways that our company is trying to leverage our assets to make a difference. And in every case, they came organically. It wasn't the CEO or the company setting the strategy. It was entrepreneurs coming with an idea of saying, we want to achieve this mission, this goal, and we think we can use some of your platform to do it. And the third and final way I'll comment on our sustainability is by and far the most important and also the hardest and most challenging, and that is the fact that our core businesses turn out to be relatively sustainable or green. eBay is the world's largest recycler or reuser. Over $100 billion of items have been reused through eBay. And it's made it really easy to reuse items. Again, Pierre didn't do that for green or sustainability reasons, but it turns out to be one of the virtuous parts of the eBay marketplace. And so we have sellers. I'm going to give you two examples. KNet Golf sells experienced golf balls. This is a guy in Canada that goes around golf courses getting used golf balls. He sells 10 million golf balls a year on eBay, a $20 million business, and those are 10 million new golf balls that aren't being made because of that. Discern Electronics sells used and refurbished consumer electronics. So the used cell phone doesn't end up in the dump, it ends up in someone's hands. So the eBay marketplace offers a very powerful opportunity for goods to be reused.
How do you play a role as a large influential business and a brand in regaining corporate trust and with the external stakeholder community outside of your eBay users?
What we've seen in the eBay reputation system, the trust system, is got to start with your actions and then the reputation follows. You can't tackle a reputation before you tackle your actions. And so we're trying to do that through our actions. And on the sustainability front, we do it with humility. What was interesting to me was when I took over and I called in our team, some of who are here today, and said, all right, I want to make this a major thrust of our company. And we're doing a lot. I want people to know about it. And so we went out to this community and talked. And said, how are we doing? And they said, not as good as perhaps you think, and make sure you get your actions done before you talk about them. Because this was back, you remember 12 months ago, everyone was announcing TV commercials and bold goals, and so we made a conscious decision not to talk about what we were doing, but to start doing it. And then over time, the reputation would build based on our actions, not on our words.
And a lot of companies here are also going out and folks in the room who are with NGOs and participating in stakeholder engagements. And one of the challenges is also how do you take the information that's generated in those types of engagements and bring it back to the business? So how do you look across all of the feedback that you get and see what is really constructive for you to bring into the business, and how do you begin to integrate that information?
We do a lot of work teasing the insight that our community generates through their own dialogue with one another. Every product release we make, every change we make, we throw out to the community and get their feedback. And then it's my job as the sort of mayor of this community to say, you know what, there's never going to be unanimous consensus. It's going to be 51-49 in many cases, but what you can count on is authentically we are asking for what you think, and we are listening respectfully. But then we're going to have to make a decision, and based on that dialogue, we'll make that decision and do what we think is in the best interest of the broader community.
As far as carbon footprint is concerned, any plans to increase awareness about the carbon associated with the particular purchases?
We've looked at what our business model or supply chain does do and tried to make that as responsible as possible. So for instance, we've worked with the US Post Office and created the first cradle-to-grave packaging material. Secondly, by adopting the post office, who's going to the homes every day already, and the post office will pick up from eBay sellers from your home and deliver. So we're not creating a new, it's the same route they're doing every day, right? It's not a separate truck coming to a separate place. And so we're trying to, wherever possible, have a mindset of sustainability